Hi, I'm Doyle Bishop with Tulsa Heaters Midstream. Today I want to talk to you as we approach Halloween about a tricky topic. It's, we engineers, we try to make something tricky. It's probably not that tricky, but I think it's kind of fun. Sight ports, wow, I know that seems really exciting, but let's talk about that. Think about that for a second. A sight port is, you need this to look inside of this heater. What temperature is it inside of this heater? It's really hot. It might be 1600 degrees. So looking into something that's 1600 degrees is not an easy task. One question you might have is, hey, why do I need to even look inside of it? Well, you need to look at it. For one, you want to see what this flame pattern looks like, because we know that if this flame pattern goes wonky, things are about to go wonky inside of that heater. The other reason I like to look inside of heaters is heaters fail from the inside out. They don't fail because sun shines on them. They don't fail because they get wet. Like a house might, a house fails from the outside in. Heaters fail from the inside out, as do other things, but that's probably a different topic for a different day. Inside out, I need to look inside, but it is really hot. Well, the way we do that is we put a device that I happen to have one right here that is a sight port. If you can look, this is what you see right here. This is on the outside of the heater, and this side is on the inside of the heater. So you can see that white stuff, that's all high temperature material because it's 1500 degrees. And you can see there's glass right there, Pyrex glass, as you look through that. And no matter what you do, the things around this sight port tend to get a little hot. And it reminds me of a story. I used to work for a company that we built combustion equipment. We built burners, actually, that go into heaters. So we had a test furnace. We had multiple test furnaces. And on those test furnaces, we had sight ports. And we had a test facility to test out these burners and really evaluate flame patterns, emissions, stability. And so this sight port was a really important thing to do. And some processes required like 2200 degrees inside, really, really hot. And our test furnace, our test facility, was the place that you would go, kind of like boot camp for the engineers. So young engineers, they got to go to the test facility, kind of, learn the ways of combustion. And there was a little bit of hazing that went on, unfortunately, but there was, because you had guys that were turning wrenches, interacting with guys that had 8 years of college. In particular, in one case, we had a young engineer down there who was a PhD in chemical engineering, and he got a lot of abuse from the guys, and most of it was in good fun. Well, I'm not going to name his name, but we'll just call him John. So one day, John, we were testing a very high temperature burner, high temperature application. John's looking at the sight port, and he was looking, getting closer and closer, and actually got the end of his nose on the sight port. And John, his nose actually turned totally black. I mean, just like a dot, burned it really bad. I mean, he made a full recovery, right? You don't have to feel real sorry for John. But anyway, one thing that was going on back in that day, there was a big advertising campaign with Bo Jackson. And the phrase was, Bo knows. Whatever Bo knows, that's what you need to go buy. Bo Jackson, Bo knows this. So somehow someone snapped a picture of John's nose and put it on the bulletin board at work and said, John knows NOSE burners. Anyway, I still remember that. It was a good time. And just in closing, sight ports, you got to do them right. They're critical. They seem boring, but they are a little bit tricky.